Tyreek talking with us yesterday basically said Todd Bowles and the game plan that he had was kind of the MVP of the game. Could you kind of describe us what was different from his game plan and how was it so effective?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game plan. They did a good job of kind of taking away our easy stuff with the corners kind of pressed down to the outsides, and then they made sure to keep people over the top of our speed guys, especially Tyreek. And the linebackers did a good job of finding Kels over the middle of the field. And then they just rallied to the ball and tackled. And then on third down, they kind of play like a two-manish type of look, but they really paid attention to Travis and to Tyreek. So I mean, it was a good game plan. I mean, we had some good plays here and there, but overall they did a good job of finding ways to kind of stall our drives out, especially as we got closer to that 50-yard line.
Next, Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick, can you just give us a sense of what your next, say, couple months will be like before you guys maybe get back together again? And Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up as well.
Yeah, I mean, today, as of today, I'm going to do whatever I can to kind of look at the film and try to find ways to get better. I mean, obviously with our offense and the success that we've had, when teams see that the defensive plan that he had and how well it worked, they're obviously going to try to do the same thing. And so try to find ways to combat that and kind of the evolution of our offense where we're going to have to do better things and be more efficient. And that really goes with me and not always looking for the big play, but just finding ways to move the ball down the field. And then just get back after it, man. I mean, you gotta prepare yourself, find ways to better yourself physically, mentally, and then I become a dad, so I gotta work on becoming a better dad, even though I haven't even became one yet.
Yeah, and also kind of along those lines, are there specific things you going to be working on this off season as opposed to just generic improvement? Are there parts of your game, whatever those might be, that you're going to be working on, say, before the start of camp?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I did a good job towards the end of the season of being more efficient. Obviously, didn't do that in the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna try to find ways to better myself that way. I mean, just being more efficient, taking what's there, especially with these teams that are playing such deep coverages against us, and moving the ball down the field. And it's something that I got to kind of battle with, as I have such an aggressive nature and wanted to have the big play. But as I watch the film and really study myself, I'll have to get better at that, and so that I can kind of become a better quarterback at the end of the day.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Patrick, Andy Reid was telling us just shortly ago that hopefully within the next week he hopes to have something done with Eric Bieniemy. What would it mean to you to have him back as your offensive coordinator as you look forward to trying to get back to another championship game?
Yeah, I mean, to have him back and the leader that he is in our locker room, it kind of sets the tone. It sets the culture, and obviously, I mean, he'll continue to improve our offense, and I think that's what's made our offense so good the last few years. Is if you look at the offense that we ran 2 years ago to the offense now, I mean, it's gotten better and better, and it's changed so much, and so. We can't just rely on the same things, the same plays. We have to keep getting better. We have to keep getting new plays. Just keep progressing as a unit. And I think having him back, along with Coach Reed, Coach Kafka, all these guys, will keep making us a hard offense to stop at the end of the day.
Let's go next to Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick. Guy, on this day a year ago, you're going to Disneyland and you're getting ready to have the parade and all that. And yet for all that stuff, you obviously had a great drive this season, great incentive, great, attempt to repeat. I wonder if you have a different sense already of how this will motivate you now, the feeling of losing the Super Bowl instead of winning it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely motivate you. I mean, if you're a competitor and you get so close to your ultimate goal, and then you fall short, I mean, it's something that will motivate you for the rest of your career. I mean, it was a bad feeling in that locker room after the game. I mean, you don't want to have that feeling again. And so, we luckily enough we'll have a lot of the same guys back, and we'll obviously add new guys, and we'll set the tone from the beginning of the year, beginning of the off season, that we have to be better. We have to be better than we were this last year in order to go out there and win the Super Bowl.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, kind of related to that, but I'm wondering if you could give us a sense of the mood just in the locker room, and was the conversation more about what had gone wrong? Was it already looking ahead to next year? And how long do you anticipate that this will sit with this group?
Yeah, I think for like the first 5 minutes, it was quiet. I mean, guys were obviously taking everything in, not falling short, and then it just turned to we're gonna get back. I mean, we're gonna be back in that game, and it's not the end. It's not the end of something. It's going to be another chapter where we're going to have to continue to drive to make ourselves better, so that we're back in that game.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Patrick, Coach Reed talked a little bit about the personnel side of things. You just mentioned it. There'll be some new guys. He was asked about your interest in being involved in that. You have to play a role, right? Where you want to go with the ball and that kind of thing. So how much do you want to dive into the personnel and have input and talk about those things?
To me, I mean, I just go out there and play. I mean, I obviously. You look around and you want to have guys here, and you want to have guys on your roster, especially guys that you built relationships with. But at the end of the day, we have a great staff of guys that really scout and really look at players. With starting with Brett Veach, but I mean going all the way down. And I have a total belief in them, that they're going to have good players on this team every single year. And that's the reason I signed the contract that I did, is I knew that we're going to have a great roster every single year I'm here.
Let's go next to Blair Kirchhoff. Go ahead, Blair.
Hey, Patrick, I just wanted to get you to recall what you remember about the incompletion to Darrell Williams late in the game when you were parallel to the ground. Is that a pass that you might not have attempted unless it was fourth and 9 or whatever it was? But just your recollection of that play.
Yeah, definitely a pass. The only attempt on fourth down. But I remember I was scrambling out and I was trying to get out to I was trying to get past that last guy on that edge there, because I knew if I got past it, I'd buy enough time to hopefully somebody could get open. And obviously he kind of clipped me, and it kind of tripped up my feet, and I wasn't going to go down without giving somebody a chance. And I saw red. I saw a red jersey. I didn't know it was Darrell. I just saw a red jersey, and I knew I had to find a way to throw it and give him a chance to catch the ball. And so I just put it up there, and obviously it came up short. But I mean, he battled for the ball, and we were trying. I mean, just like the whole game. I mean, we didn't make the plays, but the guys battled until the very end.
We've got 3 more. We'll start with Therese. Go, Therese.
Hey, Patrick, thanks for doing this. Quick question. There's been a lot of talk just about the team's reliance on 5-man protections against a great front last night. And I understand, like, football is a game of chess, so that doesn't mean that couldn't have worked, right? But from a purely football standpoint, maybe you can just shed some light on, like, what needed to happen for the reliance on 5-man protections to work.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Obviously, first off, we want to be ourselves. We really hadn't been really stopped with what we had been doing all year long. And so we wanted to, obviously we gave chips and we gave little extra protection hits and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we want to use our speed and use what we've been doing. And I thought the guys did a good job. I mean, we just didn't execute at a high enough level. I wasn't on the same page with the receivers on some plays. There were some plays where I got the line going in the wrong direction. And then at the end of the day, we didn't execute. And I think that's the biggest thing. And a lot of times it gets put on that O-line because I'm scrambling around. But if we're not executing as far as me making the right reads and getting the ball out of my hand to the receivers on time, then nothing's going to work. They get that blame sometimes, but it's not deserved because, a lot of it's on me and people just don't see it that way.
We'll last 2, Harold and then Todd. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Patrick. 2 quick questions. One, who do you turn to? You said last night how you hadn't lost like that in a while. Who do you turn to after a loss like that? And then also, who have you turned to for fatherly advice outside of course, your own father?
As far as who I turn to, I just kind of keep it within the locker room. We have a lot of great leaders on this team, and being a competitor, I mean, you're going to lose games, but it's about how you respond. And I feel like we have a lot of good guys in this locker room that understand that, and they're already ready to get back after it. And then as far as the fathering part, I got a lot of good role models in my life. I mean, of people that have been role models to me that I'll continue to ask questions to. Godfather LaTroy, all the coaches that I've grown up with. And there's a lot of great role models that I have around me, and I just kind of talk to them and learn a lot, and including players on the team that are dads on the team. So I mean, there's luckily enough being in the locker room like this, you have a lot of people that go through the same things as you do, and you're able to ask them many questions.
We'll go last to Todd Lebo. Go, Todd.
Hey, Patrick, I don't even know if you can answer this yet, but what can you do now? The season's over. You made through all the protocols. Can you go back in the facility and work on film stuff at this point? And just what are your thoughts about possibly what this offseason is going to look like? Virtual OTAs, maybe again, things like that. What would your choice be there?
As far as going back into the facility, I believe if you're going to be in the facility, you still have to test. So I think that's what the protocols are. I'm sure they'll give us a full kind of detailed thing probably today in our meetings. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be here as much as possible as far as that goes. And then as far as virtual or non-virtual OTAs, I mean, you just go in with an open mind either way. I mean, there's no like one choice or the other. I'll be ready for either one. To better myself either way. And I think that's we get to do, and we've kind of learned in this COVID world is you kind of have to have the mindset of whatever kind of challenges are thrown your way. You have to be able to accept that, and that goes for everything, not just meetings. And so I'll have that same mindset of accepting the challenge, whichever way it is.
Patrick, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.